Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny. Today we're talking more about what we can expect from the weapons in Destiny 2. Without bearing the lead, weapons in Destiny 2 will have locked perks. This means no more grinding out for that perfect fake bringer. In this video I'll talk about whether this is a good or a bad thing, as well as what it will ultimately mean for the balancing of the weapon sandbox and your endgame progression. Let's get into it. First up, I want to quickly celebrate the fact that GuardianCon crossed their goal of reaching $1 million raised through all of the charity efforts that's been going on over the past couple weeks. The final amount raised by the Destiny community is $1,272,715. That is absolutely insane. I am continuously amazed by what this community can achieve, and this is definitely a huge milestone. The money is of course being raised to donate to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, and you can still donate by visiting the GuardianCon website. I'll leave a link down below. Also, another huge thanks to everyone who purchased my Destiny shirt. As you know, $5 from each of the shirt sales went towards this charity goal, and we ended up contributing $305 total. If you still want to pick up a shirt, click the link below. Your support means a lot, so again, thank you. Now moving on to Destiny 2 weapon news, I want to start with a little tidbit about balancing the Crucible against PvE that will provide perhaps a little bit of context towards the news. Of course, sandbox balance is a pretty hot topic of discussion and will probably never stop being on players' minds. The topic is divided amongst those who believe that PvE and PvP should be balanced separately, and those who want Bungie to keep trying to balance the sandbox for both at the same time to maintain the feel of weapons across all activities. Now, regardless of which camp you're in, we got an interesting quote from Luke Smith about the subject and how it may play out in future installments of the franchise. In an interview with PlayStation Lifestyle, Luke Smith first described the current system of the Crucible as bring your own Guardian. This of course means that all of the gear you earn in PvE is the equipment that you can bring and use in PvP, and vice versa. He also continues to express the inherent challenges the current system brings when trying to provide a seamless experience when balancing and tuning the weapons. On the subject, Luke stated, "Does that mean that we will always have bring your own Guardian? Not necessarily, but it means Destiny 2 is going to ship with bring your own Guardian in both. I think there are opportunities to explore other things in that space, but for us right now, the tuning path is pretty different this time. The weapons are all hand-built in a way where before they had random talents, we could look at an entire archetype like hand cannons, and then because the weapons are all hand-built, we can take a given hand cannon and say, let's change this one hand cannon rather than let's pave this entire archetype. So we have the opportunities in front of us that we haven't had before because of the way we've built the weapons, and hopefully we'll seize those opportunities. This is really cool, and it means that balancing should be much more precise, leading them to have to tweak little things here and there instead of big sweeping changes that we've seen in Destiny 1. And of course, sort of bearing the lead here, weapons in Destiny 2 will no longer have random perk rolls. The wording in the interview left things a bit ambiguous, mostly because Luke Smith mentioned it in such a blasé manner, leading us to doubt whether or not it was actually true. But then of course Luke Smith did in fact confirm this in another interview. He states there aren't random rolls on weapons anymore. Better Devils is a Crucible hand cannon in Destiny 2, and what it has on it is what it has on it. Period. So with this example, he used Better Devils, and we can see here Better Devils has the following perks. It looks like it has the adaptive perk, which means it's well-rounded, reliable, and sturdy, and then it has another perk which is along the lines of explosive rounds. Projectiles create an area of effect detonation on impact. This means that there is only one version of Better Devils out there. It will not function like in Destiny 1 where weapons can drop with any perks. Now, I'm of two minds about this. On one hand, it's fantastic because if your friend gets, let's say, the Red Mamba 3MG, or let's say I review it on this channel, and let's say you want that gun too, you can then pursue that gun with the guarantee that it will be the same gun that I have. Right now in Destiny, the different guns are only defined by their stats. In Destiny 2, they will also be defined by their set perks. which leads to the other reason I think this is a positive change, which is that it will help give legendaries a better sense of identity like exotics have right now. The Fatebringer is infamous because of its set perks. Without it, you would have the Imago Loop, which can drop with crap perks, and sometimes with perks that don't make sense on a hand cannon. This will presumably no longer be the case, as every weapon is handcrafted and will hopefully mean that there will be much greater weapons to pursue and choose from, so your pursuits will hopefully be much more fruitful. Now there is of course a lot we still don't know about the weapons, like how loot works and how the weapon perks will actually play out, but I think this makes things seem pretty on point so far. Removing one layer of RNG is always something to celebrate. On the other hand, this presents a potential issue in the realm of content. One of the things that kept a lot of players busy during Destiny 1's content droughts were pursuing things like the perfect grasp of Malak or the perfect stolen will. That grind will seemingly no longer exist, although I don't see it as too much of a problem, as it seems like content droughts may in fact be a thing of the past. In an interview with Italian gaming news site multiplayer.it, when asked if content droughts would be addressed in Destiny 2, Luke Smith stated, "We have already announced a season pass that will give you access to 2 DLCs, however we have a wider table of content, because one of the basic notions we have learned over time is that players can consume content more quickly than we can create it. What we have learned is that having a consistent distribution of new content is an innate problem of Destiny's franchise, and we hope to solve that once and for all in Destiny 2. I had to paraphrase some of that, of course, because of the translation, but this does get me very excited, as you can already see signs of this in action with things like flashpoints where a specific destination will be lit up with special monsters, special loot, and even additional adventures. Also, speaking of adventures, I believe that there will be adding more over time, and perhaps even shipping the game with some adventures and quests that might be time-gated. We don't have the exact plans, but I'm happy even knowing that they have a plan at all. And hopefully they can keep a lot more of the mystery for us to discover while we play. My favorite experiences was waking up to the Destiny subreddit being flooded with new discoveries or random new missions and quests that would pop up out of nowhere, and I hope that experience continues into Destiny 2. Now there's a lot more information that this interview went over, including things like details of Destiny 2's first raid, and a few other tidbits which I'll touch on in tomorrow's video. But before I go, I want to tell you more about my sponsor, LootCrate.com. Loot Crate is of course the #1 mystery box subscription service out there, providing you with a surprise loot box full of geeky goodies every month, delivered right to your door. You can get 10% off a new subscription by visiting www.trylootcrate.com/futurefoe and enter code BRIDGE10 at checkout to lock in that savings. Support the channel by supporting LootCrate.com. Anyways, let me know, what do you think of locked perks in Destiny 2? Do you have the same worries I do? Let's discuss. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more Destiny content. And I will see you all next time.